Immortal dog, Minecraft beacons but cooler, cars, new DLC, and everybody's favorite Mac rag is finally coming to ASA. What's good, everybody? Welcome back. It's your boy Almighty Foil, and today we have a lot of exciting news to go over. Here we have the Extralife 2024 event recap, which honestly was a pretty good time. I feel that even though it was weird not having said, Raz Clark and Silva were great additions. Without further ado, let's get into the Bob's Tall Tales reveals, and then we'll get into everything else. First up, we have the Armad Doo, first in a new class of tames known as companion creatures. The Armad Doo, while not being rideable, is going to be extremely useful. This thing has 12 different attachments that can be outfitted to it. That's right, you heard 12 different attachments, with each one providing a different buff to you and your companion buddy. Like I said, we have a lot of attachments right here. 12 different ones, so we're going to go over them. First up, we have the bag attachment, which the Armad Doo can carry extra weight, freeing up space for other essentials, which is pretty good, so you don't have to over encumber yourself. The med kit, which offers emergency support, automatically healing you if your health drops too low, which is amazing. So if you're broken bones, boom, instant heal. Spikes and extra armor give Armad Doo some extra bite and protection in battle. Extra armor basically just gives it extra armor. Acts like a regular saddle, but spikes gives it thorn damage, so like a Kentro or an Arthro, if you bite it, take damage back, whatever attack. Alert seeking versatility. The speed buff grants a burst of speed when you need it most, so speed buff makes your character faster, which could be pretty good for rocket runs, not gonna lie. The meat sack can draw aggro, taking the heat off of you in tight spots, so like honey, it'll drop a piece of meat. Aggressive carnivore will go straight for that meat instead of you. It'll get distracted. Good. Armad Doo can even carry a food basket or ammo box, ensuring that rations and ammunition are always within reach. That's pretty cool. So you can have food, he can carry your food and your ammo for you. You don't have to worry about wasting inventory space or slots with that. That's pretty good. Other attachments. Spyglass and oxygen tank add further exploration support by granting enhanced vision and shared oxygen. That's fire. Basically like in between a scuba tank and las chowder kind of thing. So it'll give you extra oxygen and the oxygen will go down slower. Spyglass, I don't know if it's going to work. They were saying it's not as good as a tech binoc, but better than a spyglass, so it's probably somewhere in between. I don't know what kind of info it'll show, but we'll see eventually. Rolled sleeping bag provides insulation and a mobile resting spot. So they said that it acts like an otter, kind of, where it keeps you warm, keeps you safe from the cold and heat and all that. But then your teammates, like your tribe mates, can use it as a mobile spawn point, so it'll be like a sleeping bag for your tribe mates, which can be pretty good. If you have that one friend who dies a lot, bring this dog with you, it can keep respawning on you. This is definitely gonna be a useful one. And for those with a collectible flare, Armad Doo can also hold a basket, allowing a second chibi to level with alongside you. That's gonna be fire. So you can level up 2 chibis at once, the one that you have on you and the one that the dog has you. But it's crazy because you can have a shoulder pet, the dog, 2 chibis, and then the tame you're riding, that's a bunch of different creatures. So you're going to be like surrounded by dinos. This is going to be pretty cool. This pupper has the potential to be the greatest supporting tame in the game. And remember, I did say it's basically immortal. I wasn't clickbaiting with that. If it's in companion mode, if it takes lethal damage, basically which is damage enough to kill it, instead of dying, it'll bury underground for about an hour, they were saying, and pop back up right next to you. It's worth noting that if it's not in companion mode, it can and will still die if it takes enough damage. But that's insane. This dog basically is your companion forever. Like, even if you die, it'll bury underground and pop up out of the ground next to you. So he'll always be by your side. And then it also has, they're saying it has a shell mode or something like that. Like similar to the Dodic, but everything will aggro the dog and it takes 95% reduced damage, which is insane. There's a lot of different strategies you can use with that, but I'm interested to see how that works. They were saying that the dogs will ride dinos with you, which I think is pretty adorable. And they also have a pack bonus, so the more dogs you have, the better. But you can only have one as a companion at a time. As amazing as the doggo is, I think this next thing is even more game changing. Cars. We got cars in Ark for GTA 6. That's crazy. So, how are the cars going to work in the dinosaur game? Well, there'll be 3 different base vehicles, with each having its own advantages or disadvantages. The basic vehicle will be the normal buggy, which will have just average stats. You have the monster truck, which will be stronger, able to take more hits, but is also slower. It's able to carry more too. The last one you have is the racer, which will not be able to carry as much, but it's a lot faster. Each of these vehicles will have, I believe, 3 attachment slots: front end attachment and a rear end attachment, along with a turret if you want. So the turret is optional. If you don't want the turret that they provide, you can place your own. It's like a 1x1 foundation structure, so you can put a bed, little box, whatever you want on it. Equipment and attachments can be built / equipped in a new structure known as the garage. I'm not sure if you need one garage for each of your vehicles or how that's going to work, but it's basically a storage unit for your vehicles. You will need a garage for your vehicles because they'll slowly decay over time, just so the map doesn't get flooded with a bunch of unused cars, kind of like how the rafts sometimes used to get left everywhere on the old Ark. Fun fact, actually, that's why the leads were introduced into the game. The leads were used to clean up all the extra boats that were hanging around because the servers were starting to lag because of all of them. But enough of that. Back to the cars. And no, they will not be breedable, sadly. I know. What did you say, nigga? The current front end attachments that we know about are the buzzsaw attachment, which does a small amount of damage to anything that's in front of you. So like a damage over time. So like just tick damage. But it also clears trees, bushes, and rocks very easily. So if you need something to just clear a path for you, buzzsaws it for you. Got the spiked grill. The spiked grill does a decent amount of damage when ramming into something. The faster you go, the more damage will be done. It also does thorns damage when you're being attacked from the front, which is pretty good. The next two type of attachments are just a type of armor. One reduces incoming melee damage, so if a dino is going to chomp your vehicle, you'll take less damage. And the other reduces both range and explosive damage. So if you know you're going to a fight where they're going to try and snipe you, they're going to try and blow up your car, that's the attachment to have. The next one is the spring bumper, which is a very large bumper that reduces all incoming damage, but only from the front. It reduces the damage you take from ramming full speed into something too, and it also increases knockback done to creatures and sends them flying. So if you want to have some funny moments, send like a dodo flying off of a cliff, this is the one for you. The final front end attachment is for people who want to go fast and don't want to be stopped. If you run into a person or dino that is below a certain size, it will knock them to the side while not doing any damage to you. I think it's called the cattle catcher, something like that. You'll bounce off any rocks and just keep going. The front end attachments are more like passive abilities, while the rear end attachments are activatable. The 6 rear end attachments are the hook, which you can fire behind you and target a player, carcass, or unconscious dino and drag it along with you. They intended for it to be like a quality of life thing, but they did notice that there could be a lot of troll methods that can be used by this, but thankfully they said they'll be monitoring closely to see what people do with it, and if anything, they'll just have the hook cut after a few seconds. The next one is the afterburners attachment, which is basically like your NOS, which will give you a speed boost after clicked, but it'll have a cooldown. So if you want to do your racing like Fast and the Furious, this is the one to go for. It's going to be fun racing these cars all over the map. I can already see people building racetracks for it. It's going to be amazing. The next is called the jump jet, which will be an explosive boost which will give you and your car a small jump to help navigate less flat maps, which honestly could be pretty useful. The next back attachment is the smoke screen attachment, which provides a smoke screen which will blind players and creatures behind you. Can also help dinos to unaggravate you. There's the mine drop attachment, which will drop mines behind you and just blow things up that are following you. That one's going to be pretty fun to use. There's also another module that drops stuff behind you, the sludge dropper, which just slows anything down behind it. It's like being sapped up. If your car ever gets stuck or lost, you can use an option on your garage in the little menu to teleport it back to the garage. There's also 1 passenger seat. Well, technically 2, I think, because you have the passenger in front, but I think you can also have somebody in the turret. You can control the turret yourself, but if you want your passenger to do it, they can do it too. I don't know if you can have a third on the turret. I don't know how it works, but we'll see. The passengers can use any weapon except for rockets, because rocket launchers can be used for rocket runs, and a car with being able to rocket run would be OP and destroy a lot of turrets. So they said no explosives in the passenger seat, which honestly so glad for, because that would be game breaking. Final module part is the turret slot, which you can equip to the back trunk bed. They all have different uses. The shotgun turret is more for fast damage. You want to kill a target fast. If you want to do a lot of damage to something quick, you just take it out, similar to the normal shotgun in Ark. This is the one for you. There's the seeker missile, which is really good for taking out flyers. The seeker missile will do more damage to flyers, and it works similarly to the homing missile. So once it locks on, it'll follow the target and track it. This one's going to be crazy for fights. If you're in a pick fight or somebody's threatening to pick your stego, you have that seeker missile just locked on them and just keep blowing them up. That thing's gonna be sick to see in action. Then we have the cannon turret, which is made for taking out high armor targets. I'm interested to see if it works taming titanosaurs and rock golems, or crabs too. Honestly, for that matter, because if it acts like a cannon, like if it's treated as a cannon and it does impact damage, it could be used to tame titanosaurs. So we'll see how this goes. Next is the minigun, which pretty much any other minigun. It's the fastest way to put a lot of holes in the target. And finally, we have the flame turret, which will deal percent based damage over time to take out tanky targets, but it has the shortest range out of all of them. The cars, honestly, to me, sound pretty game changing. Be sure to let me know what you think down below. Up next, we have was basically a Minecraft beacon, the Tribe Tower. The Tribe Tower is a giant structure that's unrepairable, but it'll have a lot of health. It'll be a huge structure that basically lets, basically like a giant middle finger to every other tribe in the area. You'll be able to decorate it however you please, and the longer it stays up, for every 30 days that the tower stays up, you'll get additional element from bosses and XP, which is amazing. This thing sounds like it'd be pretty good. I'm not sure how much of what percentage it buffs things by, but I think it'll be pretty good. You can decorate them however you want, and the longer it stays up, the more decorations appear on it, the more stuff pops up on it. But you can also decorate them however you want, and they said you'll be able to hang artifacts and boss trophies on it, which I think will be sick. It's gonna look amazing. They said they introduced this to try and get PvP to be outside again, because a lot of the cave meta is the thing. It's a big thing. They want to bring people back outside, give them a reason to go outside. So this can't be placed in caves, but because it needs access to the sunlight. But if it's outside and you have a bunch of turrets outside protecting it, this could lead to some pretty epic battles outside, but you cannot repair it. So the more, every time it gets damaged, you got to try harder and harder to protect it, because once this thing is gone, you have to start all over again. Up next, we have the Wasteland headgear and outfit. So these are just skins similar to the other skins that were in the Frontier and Steampunk packs, but I think they're giving us more skins this time around since it's the last Bob's Tall Tales. Honestly, these are all sick looking skins. I'm getting like Mad Max vibes from this. Personally, my favorite is this crocodile looking one, which looks insane. Black and gold on this is gonna go crazy. All of these are nice. I love them. They don't have a picture of it, but they confirmed there's an explosive spear coming, which is gonna be amazing. They said it'll do more damage than a grenade, and it'll act like a sticky grenade. You'll throw it, the spear will get stuck in something, and after 5 seconds, boom, whatever your target is, it'll blow up. I can't wait to use those. That's gonna be fun to just blow up random raptors with that. We have the full Wasteland War pack outfits. I don't know if these are the only 2 available. The other packs have had a couple more than 2, so we should hopefully have more, but these are looking pretty sick. I like this Warlord one, the little shoulder pads, the dino heads on it. That's sick. And the little pike pieces actually right here. I didn't even notice that. These things are cool though. We have the structures and props, which by far are my favorite ones so far. I think these will really fit the Extinction vibe a lot, and it will make building in the Wasteland actually fun. Like, you can actually building in the Wasteland. I don't know if it'll be viable, but it'll look sick having one of these up. I'm definitely building in the Wasteland. Who cares about the corrupted creatures? I'll just set up some turrets or something. This is gonna look sick, and it gives you like that primitive feel, like you're actually there scrounging together resources to build stuff. Here's the wall, railing, storage box, lamp. These things all look sick, and everything has spikes, which is just throw some spikes on you. It'll protect you. That is all for the Bob's Tall Tale segment. Up next, we have big news. Ragnarok is confirmed to come. Well, it's Ark, so we don't know about the true timeline. Probably get delayed. March. They're aiming for March, and with Rag is the new dino, the giant bison. It's gonna be a free creature. You don't have to pay. It's not like a fantasy creature. I don't know what it'll do exactly. If it's anything like the submission that was put in the creature vote, it'll probably be milk. So it'll produce some sort of milk that you can make foods with it, use it for your taming. I don't know. It's probably gonna be some sort of milk thing. I don't know, but it's cool. It's gonna look really cool on the Highlands. I'm excited to see how Rag looks in ASA. We also had the Ark animated series part 2 trailer, or not trailer, but a bunch of clips. The series, I like it. I think that it picks up towards the end. It starts out a little slow, but then it really does pick up. And the trailer for part 2 at the end of part 1, insane. So I'm excited for this. I'll probably do a review of part 2 when it comes out. They also had Raz Clark also interviewed the creators of the game, Jesse and Jeremy. We heard something huge. New DLC coming. There is confirmed new story DLC coming. You heard it here. I'm excited. I don't know where it's going to take place in the story. Probably between Extinction and Genesis. That's what I'd assume. Or maybe be after Genesis. I don't know. We'll see. Up next, we have Ark Mobile is coming back. It's not going to be the same Ark Mobile that you saw. It'll be similar to like what's on the Switch. It'll be that sort of version. It'll be the old Ark. So Ark Survival Evolved. It'll basically be Ark Survival Evolved on the Switch or on your phone. So you can take it anywhere you go. And I was watching it, and it's insane how well it runs. Like, they were able to do boss fights, no lag. They were able to go in the Drake Trench, no lag. Yeah, they had a pretty good phone, but still, the fact that it can run Ark and not blow up, that's crazy. They also interviewed the Overwolf guy, talk about the modding scene. All these interviews are available on the Survive the Ark website. So if you want to check them out, feel free to check them out. I uploaded the first two. I uploaded 2 clips from the stream, but I realized this is a better format for me. So if you guys want to watch them on Survive the Ark, like uncut. Raz Clark interviewed Gareth Coker, the guy who made the music. Phenomenal talent, and you can see he has a lot of passion for the game. Honestly, good interview. We talked to the Extra Life people. It's amazing. Interview with Nekatis. So he is the one who made a lot of the mob maps that you know and love. He made Astraeus, he made Fjorder, but most importantly, he's coming back to help bring Val Aguero, the one from the old Ark, into ASA. He's gonna help lead the project. So I'm excited. The original creator's coming to redo his map, so you know he's gonna cook. Nekatis always cooks, so it's gonna be good. We're building with GG Fizz, and there are a lot of interviews. But yeah, you guys can check out the rest here. I just wanted to say, Extra Life is always amazing. This is such a good cause. They raised a lot of money. Technically, they've raised over $1 million over the, I think, 10-year lifespan they've been doing this, which is amazing. All that money goes to charity, by the way. They don't pocket anything. It goes straight to charity. I've donated a few times because it's just such a good thing to give back to the kids who really need it. Like, you can make their day. How do you feel about all these Extra Life reveals? And which one was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. But for now, this is Almighty Foil, signing off.